This product video provides an overview and demonstration of the ReadIt Scholar HD, a computer-compatible, portable auto-reader and high-definition CCTV solution for visually impaired students and professionals on the go. Magnify and read objects both near and far with the Scholar HD. The Scholar HD is compact, light, and fast to set up. It weighs under 3 pounds. The Scholar HD connects to your computer with a single USB connection and offers a wide range of magnification and a high-definition 720p resolution.
Hello, this is Ellis from Vision Aid International, and I'm just going to give you a very quick run-through on the alpha version of the latest ReadIt software running with the Scholar camera. The new Scholar HD camera, which as the name suggests is now full HD live image quality at 60 frames per second. But I'm going to start with, we've got the ReadIt software running here with the camera pointing down at the desk. We're going to start with one of the Scholar HD's major advantages, and that is its ability to photograph an A3 size document. This is an A4 document under here, so we've got a whole tabloid newspaper size page here. All we do is line it up. On the final unit with the base there will be positioning guides for blind users for both A3 and A4 size document markers, or letter and double letter size for the US. All we do, same as on the old ReadIt software, push enter.
Capturing.
Then gives you the full area that we're going to photograph. Has the same motion detection built in. Snaps a picture. The images now on this are much larger. They're 16 megapixel images. So they do take a little bit longer to process, but you'll see, hopefully from the results of this, that it's pretty impressive accuracy and the speed is still good. Here we are. So it's now OCR'd the entire A3 page on here. We've got a topical Wimbledon newspaper part on there. Some of the Brits still doing quite well in Wimbledon, although one of the ladies has just gone out. But we've got the same views on here, so we can zoom in on the original image view to get an idea of what the image quality is like. And it's the same as on with the wand camera. When you zoom in a long way, you're going to lose some image quality. But we've got our overlay view, which then replaces the recognized text with an actual font, which then makes it perfectly clear. You have your large customizable cursor, simply click on a word.
Andy Murray had an almost flawless first week, but there is one area in which the new 2-seed can improve.
He's made a slight mistake on there, but if we look at it, there's a crease running down the page, which probably explains why that's happened. If I look at the actual newspaper page, there's quite a big crease in it. That probably wasn't an ideal thing to do, but that is important for newspaper pages when people are going to be photographing them on here. Large crease marks will affect the OCR accuracy, because newspaper print is one of the worst quality prints you can have, and it's also obviously very small. Let's just zoom out of here and go somewhere else. We've got an overview mode, so we can look at something else down here. Click back on this bit, click on a word.
She's serving up a check. What a great comeback for the girl I call
change the view.
Overlay. Asked Robson to beat Marina Ericabuk on Saturday. A real key to Laura's success so far this week has been touching her double faulting problem. The technical issue.
Then we've got all the standard reformatted modes as well, so we can reformat into column, horizontal, vertical view,
word, and
single word. So all the main features of the ReadIt software are the same, but now with this camera, the Scholar HD camera, you get A3 OCR capability. Very good accuracy. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is actually show you how good the camera is in terms of being able to recognize small, really small text. On a standard wand camera or another standard document capturing system, you'll only really get down to 6-point text with any degree of accuracy when you're photographing an A4 area. But because of the optics and the actual really high resolution sensor on this camera, we can actually get down to smaller text sizes than that. So this is just the live view running in color at A3 width, so that's why the text the document is so small on there. What I'm going to do is zoom in to an A4 width on there, and then initialize capture, so we can position the page on there. Got the motion detection, it's just snapped the picture, so it's now going to recognize.
Recognizing.
Now if I switch to the overlay view and zoom out a little bit, I'll put it to image view actually, and then scroll down. So this is 12-point text, which is obviously standard printed letter size, which is going to be perfectly sharp on this. Coming down now to 8-point, which is can get a little bit tricky for some systems. 7-point here is still nice and sharp. 6-point as well, which is that's normally the limit of other systems. That's a 5-point here, which isn't looking brilliant, but as we zoom in, it's still perfectly legible by human eye. And then we come down to 4-point, which is actually, well, it's tiny. Really, really small text, which it doesn't look brilliant here, but with the advanced OCR we've got, hopefully, when I put it into overlay view, you see it's actually got it pretty much perfectly.
Kenny Lynch was never the best on-screen milkman. Not after Robin Askwill's performance in the classic ITV comedy Bottled Boys. SMA.
So it's not 100% perfect at 4-point text, but it's very rare for you to get something that size printed on a full A4 page, but it just goes to show that the power of the camera, that even at A4 page size, it will recognize 4-point text. So don't forget you have a 21 times optical zoom with this camera, so you can zoom in on a small object as far as you like and then OCR it. So effectively any printed text that's legible by a human will be perfectly legible with this. Okay, so what I want to show here is the live image quality of the Scholar HD. So I've got a document here. It's actually from CSUN exhibition that we do every year over in San Diego. It's one of the material handling agreements when we have all our equipment shipped back from our stand. But the reason I picked this document is it's actually a carbon copy. There's some handwritten text on there with which is carbon copy, they're normally very, very difficult for CCTV systems to pick up that carbon copy, especially when you go into 2-color modes. But we've got some pretty impressive 2-color modes on the ReadIt software, which means that they're not really an issue. So as I move the document around, you can see it's on a full page width. The performance may not be quite as smooth on the video that's recording on here because it's using up some of the processing power on the laptop to actually record this video. But this is full page width. It's nice and sharp, perfectly legible for a user that doesn't need much magnification on here. I can put it into 2-color.
Enhanced grayscale.
You can see it cleans it up really nicely. It's my signature on there. And there's some sections just here with the figures, black pull-ups written on there, the number, which is it's really faint actually on there. It's actually still trying to pull that out. What I'm going to do is zoom in on that section on there. Yeah. And then we can adjust the 2-color filter. So you can see I'm bringing that out now, just using the plus and minus keys on the keyboard. You can adjust this to whatever you like to even pull out hardly legible faint pencil writing or carbon copy as this is. We've got some more information down on the bottom of the sheet on here, phone numbers. If I put it back to color, actually the color image on that looks pretty good, but it's very, very faint on here. So it comes out really, really well. Nice thing is, I'll just put that back there, normal text, is how smooth the frame rate is on here, and how sharp the image is, because it's running at 1280 by 720 resolution on here. It really is a sharp, good image, and it's significantly better than a standard definition laptop camera. Okay, so now I'm just going to very quickly demonstrate handwriting underneath the Scholar HD. And again, because the 2-color filters are so good at picking out even faint print on coloured backgrounds as well, I'm going to show it using a pencil and just then demonstrate different forces as I press on the pencil and show it's still coming out, hopefully in 2-color. So I'm going to zoom in a bit further here to simulate writing, obviously for a low vision user. Right, so this is me pressing, I'll just refocus that on that, there we go. Obviously writing with a CCTV does take a bit of getting used to, because you're looking at the screen rather than looking at the actual writing as you're doing it. I've forgotten what I've said now that I'm talking. Okay, so that's a line with normal, excuse my handwriting, I don't write very much anymore. That's me pressing a normal pressure. What I'm going to try and do now is write as faintly as I possibly can, just so that something comes out from the pencil. So I'm not putting any pressure on there at all now. I'm left-handed as well, so that doesn't necessarily help you see what's happening. Yeah, so that's pretty faint on there in comparison to normal pencil on there. Zoom out slightly on that. Now, to put it into 2 color, we can do it from the toolbar, but it's just the letter C. So it's still bringing it out pretty nicely on there, as we can see on that. But forget, we can adjust it with the plus and minus. So even though it's as faint a text as you would possibly sort of ever get from a system like this, the 2 color mode does bring it out. We can switch the colors around.
White on black.
I may have to adjust the threshold level on there slightly for the inverse. But it's still bringing it out quite nicely. Most CCTV systems just wouldn't see that at all. It would just be background color. So that works really nicely as well. Okay, so now what I'm going to show is one of the Scholar HD's other key advantages, and that's its HD distance viewing, together with its sort of party trick, which is its the ability to OCR documents at the distance, in the distance as well, which the only other product capable of that was the predecessor to this, which was the Scholar. But this obviously now has even better optics and high resolution, so the results are even more impressive. So what I'll do is lift the camera up to look in the distance, and I'm afraid the stand on this isn't production yet, the one I'm using, so it's I actually have to angle it and hold the stand myself, so it's going to have some wobble on it, but that's where the image stabilization really comes in handy. So it automatically detects when I lift the camera up that it's gone into distance mode, and it remembers a set zoom level for that. Excuse the mess in the office. Over there I have a notice board, which is, if I zoom all the way out, it's far too small for me to read myself at this distance. But with the Scholar HD camera we can zoom in. Yeah, that's maximum zoom on there. Nice and clear on there. This is me holding the camera up, and yet the image is still stable. So anybody walking around banging on the desk makes very little difference to the image quality on this, unlike all other distance video magnifiers, which are really badly affected by any vibrations at all. This one, it filters most of that vibration out, which is why I'm managing to hold the camera myself, and it's still appearing quite stable on the screen.
Enhanced grayscale.
2 color modes on there. So it's a really sharp image, even though this is further away than a human being with 20/20 vision can actually read. It's still perfectly clear. But let's zoom out a little bit. I'm going to put it back into color. Zoom out slightly so we can get the whole thing in view. I'm now just going to hit enter to take a picture.
Capturing.
I can zoom in a little bit more actually on there. This is quite an extreme test. It's at quite an angle as well for it.
Capturing. Capturing.
There it goes. Now it's sent the image. I can put the camera down now.
Recognizing.
It's doing its 3D perspective correction on it.
Available June 2000.
And it's reading it.
For more information about the ReadIt Scholar HD, please contact GW Micro by phone at 260-489-3671 or visit us online at www.gwmicro.com.